Hey guys, this is Naji Assafiri on the Business Club. Whether you're an employee, a business owner, or maybe you just graduated from the business department, maybe you have nothing to do with business and you just want career tips to get a better you, to get better at your job, to get better at your company, your position, and you have goals in life, and you're not someone that's just sitting and wasting his time, then this show is for you. To improve you with all the information, the research that we've done, the guests that we have that have a lot of experience in what they do. Mostly we're gonna have a lot of details about business, but not limited to business. We're also gonna discuss a lot of stories about great people on this show. And now, let's get down to business. Okay guys, so today we will be talking mainly about should you do what you love or what pays? Should you do what you are comfortable with, your passion, work in that, or what makes a lot of money? And the decision is yours. We are just gonna share with you some research we did and opinions we had about this topic. We will also be having Shireen Ibrahim, who is the Director of Sales and Marketing, and she will be sharing with us her experience, her strategies, her ideas that she used to make Ankara Hotel grow larger, with more clients coming in every day, with doing a lot of nice offers, events, and many ideas that she has in general about business from her experience, and she will share it with us. I'm really excited about that, and I am very sure that she has great information for us, for you and for me. So we're going to be having that on this episode today on the Business Club. And finally, we will be talking about the success story of Mr. Billionaire Jack Ma. Jack Ma is one of my favorites. He's my idol because he really went from nothing to something. And when I say something, I'm not joking. I'm talking about $50 billion, 0.5. I mean, some people would just wish to have that 0.5 of the $50 billion. Anyway, so we will be talking about how and what the strategies and steps he took to reach that level. And we will all benefit together. And we're back. So, would you rather do what you love or what pays? And there's a quote in the New York Times article, by Gordon Marino, and he writes, "The universally recognized paragons of humanity, the Nelson Mandelas, Dietrich Bonhoeffers, and Martin Luther King, did not organize their lives around self-fulfillment and bucket lists. They no doubt found a sense of meaning in their heroic acts of self-sacrifice, but they did not do what they were doing in order to achieve the sense of meaning. They did, like my father and some of the kids of the town, what they felt they had to do." So this was written by Gordon Marino in the New York Times, and basically what he's trying to say to us is that sometimes you shouldn't think about what you personally desire, what you personally want to do in life, because sometimes the community needs and demands your help, your service, your passion, your motivation, your potential. You might not know it, but you could do a lot of changes. And I'm not just trying to inspire you and give you a motivation speech. I'm really trying to get this out there that we really can make a change, and we really need to think about putting the community first and then us. And I know it's such a cliche, but if you think about it, when you do that, when you give the market, from a business perspective, when you give the market what it wants, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get something back. That's not why you should do it, but this is reality. This is what's gonna happen when you really provide a service or a movement or an idea that the people really need. You will get a lot of support and you will succeed. Share with us your ideas about this topic. You can share it with us by sending us a message on 0750 788-0606. Or you could visit our Facebook page, and we would love for you to check it out. It's called M Radio 105.5 FM. You could write that on Facebook, M Radio 105.5 FM, and you will see all our posts and a lot of information about our websites, our events, everything we're doing here. And you could just message us or comment any post you'd like. You could also watch this show and see how I look like and see how my guest looks like that we're gonna have, as I mentioned before, Shireen Ibrahim. You could just watch the video. It's gonna be on our page and on our a lot of parts of the social media. Anyways, let's get back. So please share with us your opinion and share with us your comments on this subject. And we're back, guys, and as I told you, I'm gonna have a very special guest with me, and it's Shireen Ibrahim. She's a director of sales and marketing at Ankawa Royal Hotel. How are you, Shireen?
I am great, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you, guys, to have me here. It's such a pleasure to meet you and to be on this nice radio.
We are really happy that you are on the business club, and we're gonna learn a lot from all your ideas in sales and business and your strategies. For the listeners or the people watching that don't know you, could you briefly tell us about yourself and how did you come to Kurdistan? How did you get this amazing position, and a little bit about yourself?
Okay. I am Shireen Ibrahim. I am, for the people who don't know me, I am half Russian, half Kurd from Syria.
Oh, okay.
I've been living mostly in Russia, Syria, Lebanon, and ended up here in Erbil since 2013, let's say at the end of 2013. I started working with Erbil International Hotel, sorry.
Oh, it's fine, yeah.
Erbil International Hotel as a director of sales and marketing, public relations, and ended up in Ankawa Royal Hotel also as a director of sales and marketing.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. I didn't know about your past work, but you really became kind of famous in Ankawa Royal Hotel for all the great ideas, events, and offers that you did.
I think it's more that we matched each other. I was good for the hotel, and also the hotel suits me a lot, I think. That's why it gave me a lot of motivation to go on with the work and to try my best to make the business going higher and higher. And of course, when you tell me that I put some touches on that, of course, I feel proud of that.
That is awesome. Which year did you start working in sales and marketing?
It will be back to 2009, I believe. It was in Syria.
Okay.
Yeah, I started working also for people who don't know that I'm a mechanical engineer.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes, I was working for a prefabricated construction company as a sales engineer. And that was my beginnings because I was a student also in the university back then.
Okay.
Yeah, then I expanded my experience during my visits to Lebanon, to Turkey, to Algeria, to Egypt. So I could take little bit from each country or each culture and experiences.
Are you passionate about doing business and sales?
Honestly, it's really interesting for me because also I'm a multiple grounded person. So when I see different type of or people or different nationalities, how to approach them, how to deal with them, how to convince them, it's some kind of interesting.
Oh, okay. And what are your ways in advertising and marketing? Do you use the social media, TV, radio, especially here in Kurdistan? Do you print brochures? Do you believe in LED screens, newspapers?
I want to just give you this small idea about doing sales and marketing, public relations, especially in Kurdistan, because it's a little bit different than what we used to do in other countries. Sales as an idea, you are going and targeting some parties or corporates, NGOs, somebody that you go and sell something.
Yes.
And it's, depending 100% on your skills, how you are communicating with the person, how you sell the product. But in Kurdistan, it's more into public relations job because it's more depending on the people, your contacts, the way you approach them, the way they look at you, the way they accept you. So why the business is, or this position suits me because I understood the mentality of these people, the way they accept the idea or the product, and what you are doing with them after you sell your product. So that means during these 4 years, I could build some network and some foundation for my job so I can still deal with them with all respect and satisfaction.
Oh, you've been here for 4 years?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So how did you deal with the financial crisis? Because I'm sure the market went down and a lot of businesses closed and some of them had to just sell everything and go away. And how did you deal with this crisis?
I will not tell you the secrets of my job, of course.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that if you know the market and you know how to deal with it, you will, I will not say make a huge difference, but at least you will be a leader in your business. For example, okay, most of the corporates, they shut down and just go back home, but you can look for another things or another sources. So it's like an equation. Whenever the corporates falling down, there are some other parties, which I will not name it now, will go higher. So you need to approach these parties, which will be
wow, this is really nice, Thank you for that information. Not only myself, I'm sure a lot of our listeners are really happy to know about this.
This is a small secret in our business.
Yeah.
And that's why, the biggest companies and corporates who are doing the same business are keep calling me. Oh, can we just have a visit to your hotel and see what are you doing, drink coffee? I say, of course. And they keep going to see what are we having, which events, who are our
Beautiful.
guests. Yeah, because maybe, okay, they are good in their business and they have, very respectful certificates, diplomas. But also, as I mentioned, if you don't know the market, you don't know the mentality, the people, you cannot be very good in your position.
That is a very true point. So you've told us now a bit about what are the things you did to succeed. Now we also want to know what are some things that you might have done wrong in the beginning when you approached the market here.
Yeah, now I can remember something. When I first came to this country, which I love it so much, I tried to bring all my experiences, my, job, past performances, to make it exactly the same way at this market. But after a while, I just figured out that it doesn't work this way. I have to change my strategy and tactics to make the business, which I do, going higher and to keep my position. So then I forgot mostly what I learned in my past life, and I started to figure out that no, I have to learn the people, mentality, the market demands here, then to build it on my past experiences. And I think that combination was making sense because, as you mentioned, we could do something nice in my current position.
That is very true. Sometimes in business, we face pressure situations and we might get depressed, we might get angry, we might have some moments of losing hope. Particular days, it might be a week, maybe just 1 hour. So what do you feel when you're feeling down or angry or just not in a good mood? What do you do to keep yourself motivated and focused?
First of all, I need to drink my like 10 cups of coffee
Okay, so
to
you
just relax.
addicted to coffee.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we will not mention something else, but
Okay.
coffee is nice.
all right.
You know, I don't think there is a job or position that doesn't get pressure on. So what we can do is to be kind enough and calm enough to deal in a professional way. Because if you do like a reaction when you get angry or the effect, 99% you will do something wrong. So whenever you calm down and you think it logically, I think you will find the right solution for this case.
So, for example, let's just imagine you have a colleague or a client or whoever it is, and you're having a discussion and you got angry. Do you just leave the room, calm down, and come back and finish the conversation? Or...
Usually I make them to leave the room,
Okay, strong one.
but I hope that we cannot get to this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. What's your advice for women that work in the Middle East and in Kurdistan specifically?
Can you mention regarding what exactly?
Oh, okay. So, for example, we've heard a lot about women complaining that they can't find the right job for themselves. Women complaining that they are having a hard time at work. Maybe it is harassment, or maybe it's not a good enough salary. So these things might be effective for women. So what do you have advice for them to deal with this small problems that happen in this community and many other communities?
Yeah, now I got your point. I think this market, honestly, because being a female, I can feel it, that this market is really good open for female presentation.
Okay.
So what is needed to get over these small problems is to have strong personality, to have a character. This is first thing. And I don't think it's only here, everywhere in the world. If you are in a position and you are a weak person, you can never succeed. But if you are strong enough, educated enough, I think you can go over all problems. This is number one. Number two is to work harder on your skills, to get like more, to learn more languages, to work on your, what they call it, like
Career?
not only career, but also to know how to deal with people. You know what they call
okay.
this kind of not body language, but there is something ethics,
Communication,
yeah,
yes.
communication ethics, something
Okay.
like this. So I think this could be a very good foundation for all females to find a job, because as I mentioned, this market is really open for female present to take a part in this market.
So, do you, for the people watching internationally and listening to you that are outside of Kurdistan, would you advise them to take a chance and try to come and work here? Or you might not want to advise them at the moment, or I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I would strongly advise them to take part in this nice country and this nice market, but maybe little bit later when the airport thing will be opened,
okay.
because I don't want to say pinky nice words for people and not to be realistic. As long as these small things is happening around, we cannot be so flexible, so open to the business. But I think it will take few days or maybe weeks, and things hopefully will go back to be better.
I really hope so. You've been very honest and very practical so far. Now I'm gonna ask you short questions. It's made from 2 words, and you're gonna tell me what do you prefer.
Okay.
Okay, so employees or clients?
Employees.
Okay.
Let me explain to you why.
All right.
This is my rule and motto in life. Because if you take care of your employees and you make them feel they are important, they will take care of your guests or your customer. Believe me, I know it from my experience. Whenever I make them feel that I care about them and I need them to do their best, they will do it. But if they feel that they are not important, believe me, whenever you will be absent, they will not see you, or they will feel you are not managing them, they will do their zero.
That is very, very true. Do you prefer working on a laptop or desktop?
Laptop. To be practical, I can take the laptop whenever I go, wherever I go.
Okay. Company or family?
Family company.
Family
You can
company.
take it both ways.
Okay. Sorry, this is out of the subject, but you have a sister here as well.
Yes.
Have you ever considered working together in anything?
Yeah, we made it a lot of times to make like some agreements, some contracts, because, you know, we are sisters, we understand each other. So it's easier to work. It's very, you know, suitable because you don't need to consider a lot of things. So I think it's better to have a family company.
That is very true. Shout out to Sivin Ibrahim. I hope
Yeah,
you're
shout
listening.
out to my sister. Love you.
What do you think? Experience or education?
Experience is usually more demanded, but also education. You cannot, you know, go very high if you don't have the proper education.
But which one would you lean on more?
In this market, I would lean with the experience.
The experience. Okay. Reputation or reality? And let me just explain what I mean by this to our listeners and to you. I mean, would you put on, let's say, a character just to keep your to go with the flow and to keep a good reputation, or would you behave as you want to behave and deal with the reality of things? Like, would you just be yourself and not really worry about what people might say, or would you you do worry a lot about what people say and it might affect you? Or so which one?
As long as I am not the president of any country, so I don't think I have to take care of this thing 100% and forget about myself. But of course, as my position and my situation, I have to take care about this kind of thing. Reputation is very important. But I prefer to make balance between the reputation and the reality. Okay. So yeah, I will not bother myself with anything, also to be in a good shape and good position all the time.
That is very true. Would you rather boss or leader?
I prefer leader because boss is like a very how to call it, a word, a very hard word. But a leader, a leader is like more attitude, activity. So I prefer leader more than boss.
Okay. I want to ask you this. How would you deal with a lazy employee? Someone that is just not wanting to work, and someone that is just really not motivated, not caring. Would you fire? Would you discount from salary? Would you shout? Would you motivate? What's your strategy?
Depends. If I see, because we are now have like experience in dealing with people, we can feel the employee, the good employee, or have the potential. So if I see that this employee has a potential, I will give him one chance, maybe second chance, but no third.
Okay.
But if I see there is no potential, so it will be easier from the beginning to solve the things out and not waste more time for something will not bring you any benefit to you, to your company, and to his career.
Before I asked you employees or clients, and you said employees.
Yes.
Now I'm going to ask you employees or company.
Again, it will be employees because you have to build your company on some strong shoulders, experiences, and company without employees is worthing nothing. So, okay, you can find a lot of employees, but it will affect you this way or the other. So we need to keep our employees for the sake of the company.
That is really wise of you.
Thank
Well,
you.
I really thank you for coming on this show, The Business Club, and I was really excited with all my questions to ask you and to share with us your ideas. And honestly, I'm really happy with everything you just shared. I personally benefited from it, and I hope the listeners benefited also as well. I'm really sure that you motivated a lot of people, and I want to thank you for coming.
Pleasure was mine. Thank you for having me here. Hopefully that we can make some change in the mentality and the way how to approach the business. And it will be my pleasure that one of the influences will be my side. Thank you.
I really hope so. Okay, guys, this was Shireen Ibrahim, the Director of Sales and Marketing at Enkawa Royal Hotel. And we're back. Now it's time for the success story of Jack Ma. Jack Ma, the owner and founder of Alibaba, was born on September 10, 1964. Sorry, guys. Did you know that his real name is in Chinese is Ma Yon? You know, and you're probably wondering why did they name him Jack Ma, right? The reason why is the guy really wanted to learn English, so he would go around and just find foreigners and try to help them out as like a tourist. And this was when he was at a very young age, and he would try to talk with them as much as he can to learn English. So one of the people that were there, the foreigners, they couldn't pronounce his name, Ma Yong. You know, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. So basically, they just called him Jack, and it stuck to him. Now he's a billionaire, and it's not even his real name. So about Jack Ma. Jack Ma, he is a business magnate, investor, and philanthropist. Philanthropist means a person who seeks to promote the welfare of others, especially doing a lot of generous donations of money to good causes. So basically, kind of like charity, but not only limited to charity. It could be that he could support a new company, he could support a movement, he could support a small project, anything that he could get his hands on. He is the founder and executive chairman of Alibaba Group, a multi-millionaire, multinational technology conglomerate. As of January 2018, he has a net worth of $50.5 billion. That's a lot of cash, ladies and gentlemen, and he made that money, making him one of the richest people in China. He was ranked second in Fortune's 2015 World's 50 Greatest Leaders list. Ma was born in Hangzhou, Zhejiang, China. Ma started to study English at a young age and practiced English daily by conversing with English speakers at Hangzhou International Hotel, a 70-minute bike ride from his home. He would give the tours around the city for free to improve his English, as I told you before. And for 9 years he did that. He became one of the pals with the foreigners, as I told you, that nicknamed him Jack. And Jack Ma applied for 30 different jobs and got rejected by all of them. Let's listen to a small part of an interview that was done with Jack Ma, and let's listen to how he shares the story about this. And after that, we'll continue his story. Here you go. Check out Jack Ma.
I applied for Harvard for 10 times rejected. When KFC came to China, come to my city, 24 people went for the job. 23 people were accepted. I was the only one guy. One of the secret sources for Alibaba's success is that we have a lot of women. 47% of our company are women. If you want to win in 21st century, empower others, making sure the other people better than you are, then you will be successful. So I find the women, they think about the others more than they think about themselves. China today is the second largest economy in the world. China should pay attention to the quality of the economy. Just like a human growth, certain time the slow of growth of your body was slow, but you should grow your mind, grow your culture, grow your value, grow your wisdom. I think China is moving to that direction. When you have $1 billion, that's not your money. That's the trust society give on you. So many people I talked to at that time for Alipay, they say, this is the stupidest idea you have ever got. But I say, I don't wear the stupid clever as long as people use it. Now we have 800 million people using this Alipay. Tai Chi is about how you balance, how you work, like a competition. People say when I compete with eBay, say, you hate eBay. No, I don't hate eBay. It's a great company. They come, I go. Tai Chi is like, you fight here, I go over there. You put it on the top, I go to down, right? So it's a balance. Many years ago, I want to change the world. Now I think if we want to change the world, we change ourselves. Change ourselves is more important and easier than change the world. And second is that I want to improve the world. Because it changed the world may be Obama's job. Because my job is to making sure that my team are happy. Because my team are happy, they can make my customer happy. I remember one of the senior management of Walmart guys came to Hangzhou 5 years ago. I said, maybe in 10 years we'll be bigger than Walmart. He said, young man, you have a good hope. If you want to have 10,000 new customers, you have to build a new warehouse and this, that. For me, 2 servers.
So as you heard, he applied to a lot of places and they told him you're no good. You see, imagine that was you. You would really feel you would be left without any motivation and you would feel depressed, down, but Jack Ma didn't. He had a very, very different mentality. He actually went on and kept going. And that is so awesome about businessmen, that a lot of people don't know that you need to have that mentality to become a businessman. And if you don't have that mentality of just keeping your hope in yourself and really, really keeping focused on your goal, no matter how many times you fall down, trust me, you will not succeed in your business, no matter what kind of business it is. And so let's get back to Jack Ma. He went to the US and with his friends, they helped him get introduced to the internet. So at that time, we're talking in 1995, okay guys, the internet was a new thing for Jack Ma. During his first encounter, he searched the word beer. Imagine that, this billionaire is sitting there, okay, probably on a desktop, not even a laptop or smartphone, and the first thing that comes to his mind is beer. And to his surprise, he found a lot of information about beer, but none from China. And he not freaked out, but he was shocked to see that China didn't have that much information out there in the internet. And then he searched China, and he again realized that there weren't that many information about China itself as a country. So this motivated him. This motivated Jack to take all the information he could about the internet and go back to China and show his friends, guys, come check this out. The internet exists. And imagine that. He just got his friends to his house and they sat down and he was like, check this out. With really slow internet, it took them an hour and a half to load the page. I mean, imagine that. And at the moment now, if the page is slow for a couple of seconds, we freak out and we're like, oh, it's so slow internet. Imagine back then, they just sat there and they were so excited about this because it was a new thing. Now, how did Jack Ma take that and become a billionaire? We're gonna tell you right after this advertisement commercial break. So stick around to find out how he became a billionaire. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who didn't change the channel and stuck around with us to find out how Jack Ma became a billionaire, first of all, I want to thank you for listening to M Radio 105.5 FM. We love all our listeners and we try to give it the best we can. And we really appreciate your support and devotion and loyalty to our radio station. So, guys, about Jack Ma. First, before I tell you how he became a billionaire, why don't we let him tell you the top 10 steps he believes that that you should take as any businessman. Okay, let's listen to Jack Ma's top 10 steps, and then after that, I'm gonna tell you.
So 25 years old, don't worry. Any mistake is an income, is a wonderful revenue for you. So I told myself and told my young people, before 20 years old, be a good student. When you do entrepreneur, just learn some experience. Before 30 years old, follow somebody. Go to a small company. Normally in a big company, it is good to learn processing. You are a part of a big machine. But when you go to a small company, you learn the passion, you learn the dreams. You learn how to do a lot of things at one time. So before 30 years old, it's not which company you go, it's which boss you follow. It's very important. A good boss teaches you differently. From 30 to 40 years old, you have to think very clearly, you're working for yourself if you really want to be an entrepreneur. When you're 40 to 50 years old, you have to do all the things that you are good at. Don't try to jump into the new area. It's too late. You may be successful, but the rate of dying is too big. So 40 to 50, think about how can you focus on things that you are good at. But when you are 50 to 60 years old, work for the young people. Because young people can do better than you. So rely on them, invest on them, making sure they're good. When you are over 60 years old, spend time for yourself. On the beach, sunshine, right? It's too late for you to change normally. My advice to the young people, 25 years old, make enough mistakes. Don't worry. You fall, you stand up. You fall, you stand up. Enjoy it. I mean, 25 years old, enjoy the show.
As you heard, I'm pretty sure you can feel the wisdom in his words, right? And it's not just because he's very experienced. It's not just because he's the owner of a billionaire company and he has hundreds and hundreds of employees, dealt with hundreds and thousands of people, but it's because of his mindset. You see, this is what he has. So now let me tell you exactly how he did it. You see, in China, internet was a new thing. So Jack Ma started a really amateur, ugly website for China. And basically this website was just sharing information about China. And it was called, they later on made it a little bit better and, you know, it grew a little bit. And he named their company China Yellow Pages. Within 3 years, after only having raised with his wife and friend $20,000 to start this project, within 3 years, Jack Ma made $800,000. Now, of course, $800,000 compared to what he has now is nothing, but think about the growth that he did from this small, simple idea. Again, we go back to what we were talking about, the topic that we had earlier, when I said we need to think about what the market wants, we need to think about what the community needs, right? So this is what Jack Ma did. The market didn't have a lot of China didn't have a lot of websites. The internet was a new thing, and he took advantage of that. Okay, and he didn't do it just for his own pleasure to grow and just him. He actually thought about China as his own country and gave back to his country. And now let me make it brief and specifically tell you how he became a billionaire. So when he started this amateur website and it grew to China Yellow Pages, then he went on to work with China International Electronic Commerce Center and a department at the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. But he quit in 1999 and returned to Hangzhou with his team to found Alibaba. And that was his break. That was his big hit. It was a business-to-business market site in his apartment. Imagine that. With a group of only 18 people, and they were his friends, he started a new round of venture development with about $140,000. Okay, I changed it from yen to dollars. And in September 2014, it was reported that Alibaba raised over $25 billion in an initial public offering. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how Jack Ma became a billionaire. It wasn't just one step. It wasn't just one idea, one hit. No, he went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and then he had his break. So if you are a businessman, if you are a person that is in his career struggling right now with the economic crisis that we are having, I want you to stay motivated. This show is your show. This show is for you. And please tune in next week when we share the next episode. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of information that you are going to be interested in and that will help you out to grow more, to know where to invest, to know what to do with your career. And we're just going to give you advice and information and research, and you decide what you want to do. It's great pleasure to be the host on this show, The Business Club. And you guys can follow us on Facebook. I am Naji Assafiri on M Radio 105.5 FM. Please check out our Facebook page, check us out on Instagram. All you need to write is M Radio 105.5 FM. Pretty simple.